Hi, I'm Alison the Crocheter.
And I'm Vivian the Knitter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Hello, and welcome to episode 85 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast hosted by me and my mom, Vivian. I'm recording from Dorset.
And I'm recording from Tennessee. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. So I'm not in Edinburgh. I'm down south in England, but this is not a usual episode for a variety of reasons. Do you want to say why this is a special episode?
It's a special Unraveled Zoom episode.
Yeah, so we did a... Well, I don't know. If somebody doesn't know what that is, then potentially they have no idea what you're talking about. But we did a live version of the podcast virtually for the Unravel Festival in Farnham Maltings in England. So neither of us were there in person, but we did the sort of kickoff social event of the evening on the Thursday before the festival, which ran throughout the weekend. It was kind of a half virtual, half in person. So we did the virtual opening night party, I suppose. So we've recorded a live version of the podcast. You've got all the same sort of bits that we would normally talk about, but we've got an audience and a little bit of audience interaction. So you actually won't be hearing from current me or my mom. You'll be listening to past
3 days ago.
me and my mom.
Just 3 days ago, right? 4 days ago.
So
let's
hope you enjoy.
Travel back in time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello everyone. I am Allison, and my mom is, at least on my screen, over there. We co-host the Keep Calm and Carry On podcast. Normally we would start it, I would say, hi, I'm Allison the Crocheter.
And I'd say, hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
But then half the time she would actually mess it up, and then we'd have to edit it so it was right. But yeah, that's our whole thing. I'm the crocheter, my mom's the knitter, and we kind of stick to those roles, but it means that our podcast has a bit of knitting and a bit of crochet. So don't know if anyone is already familiar. I definitely see some familiar faces that I know are familiar with our podcast. And from our voices, you can probably tell that we're not from the UK. I imagine most people joining in are probably UK based. I don't know if anyone wants to hands up there in the UK. So I do actually live in Edinburgh in Scotland, although I'm in Dorset at the moment, but I'm from the States, and my mom can tell you where she is at the moment.
I'm temporarily ensconced in Tennessee, very near Chattanooga, if you know anything about that. But that's where I'm at right now, and it's very hot.
Not conducive to actually knitting.
No. In sweaty hands.
Oh, but yeah, so Unravel, this is exciting. I've got a celebratory gin and tonic, a local gin. Anyone else on the drink? I think it's called Mounders. It's from Shaftesbury, which is just down the road from us, and it's very tasty.
Oh, it looks good. I just have my iced tea.
I mean, it's 8 o'clock for me, but it's not evening time for you.
3 o'clock in the afternoon for me, yeah. But yeah, as people do in the South, we drink iced tea.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So
they just call it tea. So if you want hot tea, you have to say hot tea. So when I order my iced tea, I usually say an unsweet tea, so they don't put like 5 pounds of sugar in my 1 cup of iced tea.
Sally's nodding knowingly.
Yeah.
So normally we have this tradition with the podcast that we started with a Buzzfeed personality quiz every episode, and it kind of started because when we first started the podcast, it was a way for our new listeners to get to know us, and we've just carried it on because it's a bit silly and it's a bit of fun, and why not? So I have made custom Buzzfeed quizzes before. The first time I did it was, I think it was at our 1 year podiversary, And in a very vain style, the quiz was, are you more Allison or Vivian? So I've made another quiz. I'm going to just put the link in the chat if anyone would like to participate. And it's what kind of hand-dyed yarn are you? I should have probably given it a clickbaitier title like they normally do. Like, you'll never believe what kind of yarn your personality matches, but I didn't.
You don't speak BuzzFeed speak.
No, I mean, we ought to by now with the amount of quizzes we've done.
I know.
But yeah, so have you already taken it?
Me, yes, I've taken it. I've taken it several times, and I keep coming up with the same thing.
Oh, consistent. I've taken it a few times. I've gotten different things depending on my mood. So what did you get?
I got tonal yarn. You are the steadfast friend. Your unwavering loyalty and kind heart make you a friend for life. Thank you, sweetie.
I mean, I would say that's true. So I got self-striping yarn. You are Ravenclaw through and through, bright, clever, and determined. You always get the job done. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Except you're a Hufflepuff.
I'm a Hufflepuff, yeah. But, you know, I've got my data analyst side to me, so I think it makes sense. So yeah, if you guys want to pop in the chat what yarn you are, we'd love to know. But we'll run through some of the questions just because that's what we normally do. But the question that I actually want to know, because I'm drinking at the moment, is what are you drinking with your Sunday brunch?
Coffee. What else would I be drinking at brunch?
Well, I mean, I was gonna have a Bloody Mary, so just anybody else? I think the last really good Bloody Mary I had was at in Edinburgh at a brunch place. Badger & Co, that's what it's called. And now things are opening up. I'm sure we'll be back at some point. They do good cocktails.
Sounds nice.
And we've got another self-striping, an ombre, tonal.
Wait. Oh, trying to find. How do I? Oh, there we go. So how many different personality? Or
just 4.
Just 4.
Yeah.
So it looks like we've got all 4 showing so far. 1, 2.
Bloody Mary every morning, Sally. What about, okay, this is nice and yarny. Choose a fiber source. Linen, alpaca, cashmere, or wool.
I had a hard time with that one, but I ultimately I went with wool because it's, you know, the good. That's most, like 90% of the knitting I do is with wool.
Yeah, I went.
Even though I love alpaca, and of course everybody loves cashmere. I think. I'm sure everybody loves cashmere, right? Yes.
The vegans might not, which is why I've got the linen in there. I was tempted by linen because despite the fact that it is like the weather is crap at the moment, it is so windy. Like you can hear the wind coming through the trees. You can hear the wind. Like my mother-in-law has it's called a Rayburn. Is that one of those ovens that are always on? So it's got like the big pipe. I don't know, but I think the wind comes in through there. There's a fireplace with the wind coming from the chimney. And I swear to God, I hear something. You know those toys where when you flip them, it makes that moving sound?
Yeah.
I can hear that. Like every once in a while, I'm like, what is that? And I think it must just be the wind.
That's a funny sounding wind.
Yeah, but so anyway, I was tempted by linen because despite the weather, I am looking forward to spring and summer.
Yeah, I'm already in the middle of summer here.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you what you picked for the food question too, because food, and I can smell my dinner at the moment. it's wafting in through the door from the kitchen.
I picked sushi because I'm too hot to eat anything hot right now.
I picked sushi too, but because I haven't had good sushi in a long time. I've tried a few places in Edinburgh, but just the amount of places that just so much mayonnaise in the sushi, and I'm just not here for it.
Well, we went to a couple of different places here around Chattanooga, and most of the sushi are these like, like the sushi menus where you tick off everything. And sometimes they don't tell you what's in it, and then they give you another menu and it shows you what's in there. And it's like more than half of the rolls had cream cheese in it, and I just can't abide by cream cheese in my sushi. So yeah, so we haven't had any really good sushi here either.
Yeah, Sally said you've got to make your own sushi here, but yeah, you got to find the good fish first, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself.
I mean, you do California rolls. And
I can make a good California roll. That's about it. Or maybe a shrimp roll.
Well, actually, so we actually have some door prizes to be given away. So, if you haven't said what kind of yarn you are yet, you might want to pop it in there because I'm going to pick somebody to get a Keep Calm and Carry Yarn mug, which I don't have with me, but it's Keep Calm and Carry Yarn mug. I'm just gonna have a quick stroll through. Ooh, somebody's using bamboo and cotton at the moment. Nice and summery. And Tanis, where is she? Yeah, there you go. You are getting the mug. But I guess we'll have to. I haven't really talked to Allison about how we're gonna get addresses and stuff, but I'm sure she's thought of that already somewhere in the background.
Congratulations. Do you have a picture of the mug?
We'll sort all that out.
Okay, cool. Cool. Right. Well.
So, any other? I guess that's all the questions.
Well, there was more questions, but we can, as we say, get to the good stuff, the crafty content. And I see some people are working on things already. But will we have a chat about some of our whips and then see what other people are working on as well?
Sure.
You want to go first? What are you working on?
Sure. I am working on my, here we go. It's the folklore cardigan. And this is my second sleeve. I finished the first sleeve, so I'm starting with the sleeves.
Very nice.
Because there's a lot of stitch. I didn't want. Well, the sleeves was kind of my gauge swatch too.
Uh-huh.
And this is by Amy Gunderson, and it is that Taylor Swift sweater. I don't know if anybody knows. Cardigan. Yeah.
Anybody a T Swift fan in here?
It's a sweater that she has in a couple of her videos, and she also sells in her
couple
shop.
Music videos.
And I'm tangled here. And anyway, so this is like the copycat pattern for that particular sweater. And so it's a request by Madeline, my youngest. And apparently I don't know the difference between seed stitch and moss stitch, because I read the pattern, and it says continue in moss stitch, these side panels over here. Mm-hmm. But that was written out, and then in the middle part you follow a chart, and then the chart inside of here's just definitely, when you follow the chart, that's definitely a moss stitch. I don't know how I transposed that in my head, so I did a seed stitch for like most of the first sleeve. And I was like, oh, dang it, I'm not going to tear it out. So I'm continuing with the seed stitch, and hopefully it won't.
So what is the difference? Because, I mean, as a crocheter, I have no idea.
So the moss stitch,
anybody else want to tell my mom what the difference is?
The moss stitch, it's, so you do, like when you do knit purl all the way when you're doing the front, and then when you flip it, you're purling the pearls and knitting the knits, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go back to the front, you do the opposite. So there's 2 rows like stacked. Okay, but with seed stitch, you're always purling the knits and knitting the pearls, no matter which side you're doing.
So one is like an extended version of the other?
Yeah, it's like a stretched out. The moss stitch is kind of like a stretched out seed stitch. So anyway, I'm keeping it. I don't feel like tearing this up.
Madeline won't know the difference, right?
No, she's not gonna know the difference. I've already showed it to her. She's like, whatever.
You told her that you made a mistake?
Yeah, I did. She's been here, so.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I also have a hat that I'm knitting for my sister, and this yarn is very yummy yarn, but it's discontinued. It's classically fresco, and it's got wool, alpaca, and angora, so it's kind of fuzzy. But it's the name of the pattern is the Blue Rainbow Chulo by Janet Stimson, and it's a free pattern. And in that pattern, well, you've got color work on the main body of the hat, and then you're basically knitting two hats, and then you sew it together so it's double layered. So of course I'm not doing that. I am knitting it attached. So I have this weird, I don't know, this weird shaped thing right now.
Makes me think of like a sea creature. Some sort of weird sea creature.
So those are my tulips. I only have two right now because I finished the other stuff.
Faye says your color work is always so beautiful, and actually,
thank you.
If anyone isn't familiar with most of my mom's chosen projects, she normally does color work. So the fact that she's doing cables is like, what?
I do like a good cable too.
And Lisa asked what I was wearing, and I'm obviously wearing some crochet. This is my strawberry shortcake tank top by Natalia Mikhail, who's Talia Crochet Creations. And it's a nice, just striped tank top. We've done it in cotton. So, I mean, my mom was worried that she was like, oh, but it's so thick and you won't be able to wear it as a tank top. And I was like, I wear so many layers anyway in Scotland. If anything, it's hard to imagine a time when I would only wear the tank top around. I could always have a layer on top. Yeah. So
well, I'm hot just looking at you wearing that right now.
We have a fire going in the other room.
Oh my God, I'm so hot right now.
It's cold. But I am, well, speaking of it being cold, it's kind of appropriate because, so I'm, like I mentioned before, down in Dorset at the moment. I normally live in Scotland. I'm at my in-laws because now that things have been opened up a little bit, we're doing Christmas. Because we missed it. So
we didn't tell me that.
The whole family, we all just like kept the Christmas presents that we had wrapped at home. So we're all going to meet now this weekend and, exchange our presents. I think my in-laws left the fairy lights up, so we'll have Christmas lights. The Christmas tree did go back outside, so there's no Christmas tree, but I mean, I fully anticipate there will be Christmas music. So appropriately, I'm working on my Christmas modern corner to corner Afghan still, which I started 3 years ago.
I don't think it was quite that long.
It might have been time, man, it passes.
I don't know. Well, last year lasted 5 years, so maybe you've been working on it for 7 years.
Yeah, so this is a corner to corner, and so when I started it, so this was the first one I did a wreath, and I decided that I really, really hated corner to corner, but because I'm a completionist, I was like, I'm still going to finish this blanket. So a year later, I did the snowflake. And now I've done, what order did I do it? Reindeer.
It still looks like a dreidel to me. A dreidel.
It'd be a dreidel if it was like this. What else did I show you? I showed you the pine cone, which my mom says pine cone doesn't feel Christmassy to her, but I think she's wrong because they're piney, pine trees, Christmas trees, Christmas trees, Christmas tree. So did I show you this one? Yeah.
No, you didn't.
So I finished the Christmas tree and it's got the baubles on it.
What's on it?
They're little ornaments.
Oh, so it's yarn. It's not like you didn't stick buttons on it or anything.
Oh, no. It's just part of the different colors for the corner to corner. And I will say, now that I've gotten 5 squares in, I'm more confident with the corner to corner. I figured out how to do the color changes. Look, my back is so neat. Look at that.
Nice. So you don't hate it as much as you did?
I don't hate it as much. I mean, I finished this tree pretty quickly, maybe in a couple days, of watching TV. And now I'm working on the 6th one. So this will be 6 out of 9 squares. See if you can have a guess what it's supposed to be. That's all I got. Any guesses?
Santa Claus?
No.
Santa's sack?
Closer?
Santa's sleigh. What?
I said Santa's sack was closer.
Oh,
You put presents in it.
A stocking.
Yes, the stocking. This is the heel of the stocking, yeah.
I see.
So yeah, so I'm progressing with that. And
So
then the
how
other
many
thing
more
I'm
do you
working on is actually for my magazine, which is a secret.
Wait,
I mean, the magazine's not
rewind.
secret.
How many more blocks do you have?
That was 6 out of 9.
Okay. All right, magazine. Yay, let's talk about the magazine.
So for anyone who doesn't know, I have created or am creating a new crochet magazine. So it's a print magazine, high-end, kind of more along the lines of Lana and Pom Pom, but for crocheters. So we're talking about like garments and accessories made in wool and other natural fibers. We actually have a designer at the moment. Faye is watching at the moment. She's one of our issue 1 designers.
Hi, Faye.
So yeah, it's coming out in September. It'll be the autumn winter 2021 issue, the first issue. But we had a really successful Kickstarter campaign earlier this year, and I think lots of people are excited for it. So I can just reveal just the yarn that I'm working on at the moment. So this is actually for a design that it's not my design, but I'm making the sample, and I'm using some lovely Garthenner wool. And so I think they are exhibiting, I think, in the physical event as well as virtually. So I've got some number 3 yarn, which is their DK weight. It's all the ones I have. They're all natural undyed yarns, and the ones that I have are all Shetland. Each color is breed specific. Most of them are Shetland, but I think there's a couple of other breeds. There might be a Polworth in there, or Jacob. So yeah, so I've got lovely, natural, organic, sheepy wool. So that's just a little preview that'll get turned into something for the first issue. Yeah, so those are my whips. I'd love to know what other people are working on. Let's see, who did I see working on something? Sally, I definitely saw you working on something. No?
Okay, so I'm working on 2 at a time Christmas socks because I took a bet with my best friend that I could knit more socks than she could in 1 year. Christmas socks only though. I get bored of knitting socks, so I knit 2 at a time, but 2 totally different ones each time. So I only ever get a pair of socks like every 8 months.
So is that going to be a matching pair? Did you say?
No, they're totally different.
Oh, they're different. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you can do like me. Every time I make cuffs on a sock, they're different, even on the same pair, because I can never remember how.
But that's why I do 2 at a time. So I need to learn to do 2 of the same at a time, and then I wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah.
You do the there's like a sock company in the States called Little Mismatched, and they sell socks in pairs in sets.
They're threes,
sets of 3.
Sets of 3s.
And they're 3 different socks. And the whole idea is that you just wear whichever 2 you want, but they don't match. Like they usually coordinate in some way.
Yeah,
but
they're the same colors but different designs.
Patterns, or the same pattern but different colors. Yeah, so I've got
cool.
if you do that, yeah, just
do that.
It's an intentional design decision. Would anyone else like to share what they're working on? Lisa, are you working on something? Something crochet, maybe?
I am crocheting. I had to represent to some people. Sorry, the hook is tangled in it. Yay. I am actually crocheting a jumper for my husband. It's the first time I've made a jumper for someone who's not me. So obviously I'd have to go to someone special. It's a Nomad Stitches patterns or workwear jumper. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, wow.
But it's got crochet cabling down the front.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you better
in a
like
nice
it.
manly shade of what, forest green?
Hunter green.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I definitely haven't made a sweater for anybody that's not me. I feel like I haven't made that many sweaters for me, really. I need to build up my wardrobe first. Also, I think I would be in shock if I had to try and make a sweater for Sam because he's just so much larger than me. I'm only 5 foot tall and he's 6 foot tall. So it's a bit of a difference. I think even packing for this trip, he packed in like one of the big, like, I'm going away for 2 weeks suitcases, and I packed in a little weekend suitcase. And like, I mean, he's gonna hate me if I say this, but he came out with a stack of underwear, and he was just like, "This is why my packing takes up so much room." Whereas like my underwear is like in a little stack like this. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I have knit Sam a pair of socks, and that took forever. So I can't imagine.
We are a small people to choose.
Yes, we're very small people. In fact, when the picture at your wedding with the shoes on one end and the listers on the other end, we looked like we were photoshopped in, and the size was just, there's like something wrong with.
Oh yeah, no. So I put all our pictures like in a nice, like nicely printed book. And there's a picture of, the two sides of the family, and, you know, the three of them on one side and the three of us on the other side. But because it's in a book and it's split down the middle, it looks like we've put two pictures next to each other when actually we're just stood next to each other. It's just like little people, big people. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I laugh every time I look at that picture.
Yeah.
Because it scrolls through like on my favorites on my my laptop, and I'm like, oh yeah, look at the picture. So you have any FOs, or does anybody else want to share a project they're working on?
Louise, she looks like she's about ready to, yeah.
What? I just said because I'm a crocheter, I better speak up.
Yeah.
Oh, good. What do you have there?
It's I've got to really hurry up with this because it's for my sister on the 20th of June.
Ooh.
It's a shawl made of motifs. It's by the Crochet Project.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
And
Nice.
you have to make 12 big ones and then 14 little ones. And I've got 3 at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a month.
I have a month, so I think I'll get there.
Lucky
That's why
sister,
I'm doing
no?
it right now.
Today's the 20th. Oh, yeah, today's the 20th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've got
Right, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Orla, I can see you working on something. Would you like to share?
Hello, yes. I'm working on a chevron cardigan called Monomania by Anne Weaver. That's the pattern.
Oh, nice.
And I'm doing it in a really nice kind of hydrangea frayed. This is one of the sleeves.
And then does it go to green as well?
Pretty.
Yeah, so it goes kind of from pink into green, like the hydrangea plant.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
Are
What are
you
you
doing
wearing?
was it short sleeves, the cardigan?
It's 3/4 length sleeve.
Very nice. I have to say, I mean, I can't tell what the colors are in the pattern, but I think I like your colors better. It's a bit like less contrasty.
Yeah, less contrasty. Yeah, more of a fade.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
What are you wearing? I see you wearing something.
Oh, this is the stillness wrap. It was a make along.
Oh, nice.
Really nice pattern. Oh gosh, you're gonna. I'll think of the designer and put it in the chat. I can't remember. No, can't remember.
Yeah, I really like the lace and the stripes.
Yeah, it was a make along, and it was a really nice pattern to do. You know, the release. It was over 4 weeks.
Nice.
And did you finish it in 4 weeks as well?
I did actually. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Very good.
I don't think I hardly ever finish something for like cows, let alone trying to finish something for a make along. I can't imagine.
Well, that's because we usually have so many projects going on at the same time. I think if we were more monogamous about our crafting,
Yeah.
we'd finish things a little bit more timely.
True. Faye, are you working on anything that you're allowed to talk on about? Oh, you're muted. We can't hear you. That's how secret it is. You're muted, man.
Can she
Oh,
unmute
no.
herself?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's so
Hello.
top secret. I couldn't even unmute myself. Yeah, I thought I'd better bring knitting so that I don't give any Murit magic away. So I'm sock knitting tonight because it's we've just moved house and our new neighbours are so lovely, and it's Bev's 50th this weekend, so I quickly whipped her up a pair of socks.
Oh.
So she's getting socks for her 50th.
Oh,
And a bottle of fizz. I feel like that's good neighbourliness, like
oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
beyond compare. But they're really super lovely, and they've made us feel really welcome. So she's sock worthy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, very neighborly. Orla said that the wrap was the Stillness Wrap by Helen Stewart. And Amy's just said that she had to pause for knitting because her house rabbit is chewing her yarn.
Oh no.
I didn't know well, I guess rabbits will chew on anything, most anything, right? So
Yeah.
I guess that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Do we get to see rabbit? Oh, Amy's still showing. Oh,
Wait, I can't see.
baby.
What am I seeing? I can't see.
Here he is.
Oh, there you go.
He's
Oh my
been-
gosh, you're so cute.
He's been very naughty. He wants to eat the yarn, so I've got a kitty as well. So yeah, I have to stop, otherwise I get soggy bits.
Too funny. We used to have rabbits back in the day
Yes.
when we were kids.
Yeah, you did.
Mm.
You guys killed one of the rabbits.
No, you can't just say that. Kill the rabbit.
Okay. Well, one of them died on our watch of natural causes.
Well, I mean, no, all the rabbits died. Like, we don't have immortal rabbits. Like, let's be clear on that.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure they all died of natural causes, not just the one you're thinking of. But I guess we had to give away a couple of the rabbits because we moved. So I guess that's what you're talking about. They didn't.
Well, yeah, those are immortal because I never saw them.
None of them died under suspicious circumstances.
Yeah, the three. I've got Sushi sleeping on the window hammock right now, keeping me company. And the other two are wandering around somewhere in this apartment. I'm not sure where they are.
Well, I definitely didn't think I was going to see a rabbit on this chat, so that's made my evening. Thank you. Tanis, I can see am I pronouncing your name right? I can see you working on something.
Yeah, I'm doing the new Helen Stewart Short Society pattern that was released today. So yeah, I mean, not very impressive at the moment. I've just got a little
good day's work.
Little brown lump. I'm getting a brown lump. Yeah, it's a curling mist shawl.
I love her patterns because she does such a great job of, she's got the written out, and she's got charts for people that don't like charts, or vice versa. And then she usually has like a checklist, like if you're done with this part, you have X% done. You're done with this part, you have this, so you can really gauge how much yarn you'll still need. Yeah, that's beautiful. I have a bunch of her patterns. And obviously I've knit her pattern, so.
This is why you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Joanne, are you working on something?
Yes, I'm actually hand spinning right now.
Oh, nice.
So I'm working on something of a rainbow I've got some of my other little turtles done.
Oh, wow.
And I'm on the last of 6. Where are the other ones? Here they go. There, so.
Ooh, nice. So how long does it take you to do you have a spindle to spindle that big of a ball?
I never really I haven't timed any of these.
Mm-hmm.
I know that depending on how fine I'm trying to spin, I can get through about an ounce of fiber in about 70 minutes or so, like a little over an hour, if that's like what I'm really concentrating on. but I do this like, so I mean, it's COVID year, but I work from home anyway on a lot of conference calls.
Oh.
So if I'm not the one who's having to like do the PowerPoints and take notes and stuff, nobody can see me most of the time because we don't always do video. So yeah, I get some done at work because frankly, I am checking less of my email while on the calls than the rest of my coworkers if I'm spinning or knitting while I'm doing it.
It's like a equivalent to doodling, right? Like it doesn't.
It is. It's totally like I actually have a sticker on my computer that has like a picture of a spindle and says the original fidget spinner.
Nice.
My coworker told me the other day a story, which I don't know if it was true or not, but she said that she used to get the bus to work, and so she works in Edinburgh and lives outside of Edinburgh, and there used to be a woman who was using a drop spindle and spinning yarn, and she had no idea what she was doing because she's not a knitter or knows anything about wool, but one day she asked her, and the woman told her what she was doing, and that was just how she like whiled away her bus journey. And then Lindsay said something about she used to like collect wool on her way into work, like from like the fences and stuff. That's the part I'm not sure if it would have been true. Like I don't know, would you be able to collect wool and then just
it depends on like what kinds of sheep are in the area. I mean, I've never lived somewhere where I could really do that, but wool gathering, somebody just put it, wool gathering is a thing. Like because
well then, I mean, maybe she had a very productive commute, the most productive.
Yeah, because like the more primitive sheep breeds, which basically means there's less human involvement in changing them into different sheep, actually naturally shed their wool to a certain degree, and so it does get caught on fences and stuff. And actually the Shetlands vary a little bit, but some of the Shetland sheep, it's called ruing, where they just go and like they pull all the wool off by hand, but it means that some of it gets stuck on fences.
Yeah, to be fair, because it was we drove down to Dorset, it was a long drive, and lots of sheep and lots of lambs in the fields, and there were a few fields, not all of them, but some of the fields, I was like, there's just a lot of wool just on the grass. Yeah, so I suppose that makes sense.
You should have collected all of them. You would have been able to spin a whole sweater by now.
Though to be fair, when you do that, you are going to get wool of varying qualities.
That makes sense.
Indeed. Well, I think we've got one last person on camera who hasn't chatted. If Imka, I don't know your username. Would you like to share what you're working on?
Yeah, I'm making a jumper. Can't see much because it's dark yarn. It's that's just a little orientation line because I'm going to make a second layer that I'm going to anchor at that level. It's based on a lovely jumper by Shinobu Sasaki, but she's written the pattern from the bottom up, and I prefer top-down knitting, so I've changed it a bit. But it's got this mohair underlayer here that flares out a bit. So that's really lovely. And I'm just knitting the front flap or back. I think it's the back flap. So I've retied the back and work my way.
Oh, nice.
So is the mohair, are you doing it in the same color as the rest of the?
No, it's going to be a contrast. It's going to be an orangey. This is kind of a very dark wine red. It's actually Holst Toast. No, it's not Coast. It's the super soft. It's the scratchiest that they call super soft, which is, I think, kind of a blend. It's got Shetland in it and things. So it's a very woolly wool, and the mohair are left over. So some orangey, browny tones. I'm gonna do that.
Sharon. So I feel I'm just being the prize giver. My mom doesn't really know much about this, but secret prizes, another prize. And so we've got a also not present, but a wooden yarn bowl from the knitting gift shop, and I'm going to give it to Sally because I picked on you and I made you share first. But we also have a set of mini skeins from the Knitting Shed, and I think what we'll do, my mom and I will probably talk about some of our FOs, but if anybody wants to pop into the chat and share what their latest make was, so if there's people who aren't on video, you have a chance to win the mini skeins as well. And I might ask Allison, once those sort of have come through, if you could maybe pick one at random, just because I feel like I can't really do it at random kind of quickly. Yeah, thanks, cool. But yeah, so Mommy,
Yes.
you got any FOs?
I do. I finished my LA shawl.
Finally.
Finally.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. It takes me ages finishing too. But
so
I mean, you have at least graduated to not just calling it the French shawl. You've stuck to a pronunciation, whether it's right or not, who knows?
I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it's ALEI with the 2 dots over the eyes. So over the one eye. So it goes from like a white base with lots of pinks and blue bits, I guess, maybe a little bit purple, to a mostly green, light green to a darker green blue. And the yarns I used, I actually wrote it down, is the two on the ends are Black Elephant, and their colorways are Euphoria and Hallucinations. So I really like the names of the colorway. And the one in the middle is Urban Girl Yarns, which is a local dyer to Virginia, and it was a birthday colorway for the shop where I got it from, the Dances with Wool in Richmond, and they had a 4th anniversary last summer, and that's when I bought it. And so it's taken me a year to finish this, start and finish, something like that.
I still think, I think it's either, it kind of goes with that like unicorn color scheme trend or mermaids, something mythical, I think.
Well, you said this looks like the unicorn, and this part
is like the mermaid.
Looks like the mermaid.
It seems really long though.
It's pretty long. I mean, it's taller than me. Well, most things are taller than me, but yeah, it's probably about 6 feet long. But once I wrap it around, it won't be so bad. Yeah. Not that I can wear it anytime soon because it's so hot here. So that's my only FO. Do you have one, sweetie?
Well, just a reminder, if you want a chance to win the mini skeins, just pop in the chat whatever your latest FO was, everybody, whether you're, got your video on or not. So I've got one that's like not really an FO. It's a revisited FO because I edited it, I adjusted it, went back to it. And it's also because it was a very long thing.
Ooh.
So that's my Luteola shawl. It's crocheted. It's by Rebecca Velasquez. And it was in a Quince & Co. like crochet publication. You can see. So there's definitely like, I think, quite a few designs that use this sort of leaf pattern, but I liked how she had one of the strands is kind of a little bit different for a bit of texture. Although I kind of think it looks a bit like braids or maybe
I think it looks
stitches.
like the knitted stitches.
Yeah.
But this is the one that's named after the bug.
Yeah, I think it was either named after the bug or the disease that like, maybe it's the bug that like eats the leaves that causes those kind of holes in the skeletal effect. Yeah, I guess it does look like knit stitches. Wheat sheafs, I don't know, it could be a lot of things. But when I made it, I pretty much used 3 skeins of Skein Queen, who I think are also vendors at Unravel. So soft, but it was so long. Like I could wrap it around myself like 5 times, I feel like. So I think I managed to find the end. I didn't have to cut anything, and I think I pulled back like at least a foot of length, if not a little bit more. But it was a little frustrating because it was hand dyed yarn, I had the 3 skeins, so I was alternating all 3. So it doesn't call for it in the pattern, but I did along the long edge, I did like a single crochet, double crochet in UK, all along the long edge to just seal in the alternate sort of, yarns. So I had to undo all of that as well. But yeah, so now I'm very happy with it, and I can actually wear it as like a scarf instead of, I think the one time I really wore it I wore it to a wedding kind of as a proper stole with it like draped very glamorously over one shoulder, but I could do a scarf now. I've got this.
Nice.
And then the other thing is just a small project. I made myself a hat.
Oh, you did that quick.
I made it a while ago and I just didn't talk about it because it was just like a small project and I kind of forgot that I didn't talk about it. But I had a hat, I think it's the Win hat, Winwood, which I wore all the time and I lost it. And if my mom knows this about me, but I'm really good at losing things. Like I don't know. Like I still think about, I had a black halter top in high school, lost it, don't know where it went. Like I had a black bra at one point, lost that. Like I honestly, like where could I have lost that? Like nowhere. Anyway, lost the hat probably on an outing. So I wanted a new hat that I could just whack, like something kind of a bit simple that I could whack on, but I wanted to test some color blocking. So this is just like a really dead simple half double crochet, half treble rib crocheted, cinched at the top. With the color blocking, and it's West Yorkshire spinner. The orange is Wensleydale, and then the brown is Jacobs. And you can like definitely tell like the difference between the fiber, because obviously the Wensleydale are the ones with like the really tight, curly, long, almost dreadlocky looking wool, which is really has a lot of luster. And even though they're both DK, like you could just tell that the Jacobs look really solid and the Wensleydale is a bit airier, but it works as a hat.
Were they leftovers for something, or did you buy it for your hat?
I bought it ages ago because I was buying yarn and I wanted free shipping, so just throw some extra things in. So that was one of those. But I don't know if it's the color or what, but this hat makes me feel a lot trendier than I am. Like I could imagine like high school wearing this at the moment. Like it's an in thing, right? I mean, what do I know? I could be completely making that up. But I did wear it. I was wearing it. We had some drinks up on Colton Hill, me and a couple of friends, and I had like my coat on because it was a little windy. I had this hat, and then I have clip-on sunglasses lens, and they were like, "You look like a celebrity trying to escape the paparazzi." I was like, "Oh, thanks." Let's see.
Well, my friend Angela did say that you look like a movie star with your new haircut.
Oh yeah. I mean, anybody who doesn't watch the podcast maybe doesn't know, but especially growing up, like I had hair down to like, I don't know, belly button length sometimes even.
Yeah.
And during lockdown, my hair has grown and grown and grown. Although even in normal times, I only get my hair cut like maybe once a year. It's very, very low maintenance. I'm always complimented by the hairdresser about how straight it is, how easy it is to blow dry. And I'm like, yes, I know. So yeah, it's very short at the moment. And I have a newfound appreciation for like clips. I've had this one for ages. For my high school trip to Venice, one of those like Murano glass
I remember
ones.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have it.
I still have it, and I still have the glass. I have like a little glass keychain, which is still on my keychain because it's a little bit broken. But yeah, I'm surprised I still have it because I never used to really wear it. I think with my long hair, I don't know if it just always felt like it didn't feel as stable, which doesn't really make sense because surely longer hair would give it more. Like
I don't know. Maybe you're just weird. I don't know.
Maybe I'm just what?
Maybe you're just weird. I don't know.
Wait, what the face that I love that you still have the hair clip but lost your bra. I mean, I feel like that's like me saying I lost my bra sounds naughtier than what it was. Like it wasn't a naughty lost my bra. Like I just lost. Like I just don't know where it went.
That was like when you were still living at school, right?
Living at school? You mean at Colgate?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
You were always losing things there.
I was always losing things. I'm still always losing things.
You left your phone in a bathroom stall once.
Oh my gosh, I left it, yeah, at college. And then, well, you can tell the story.
And then she called, so whoever came to the stall next found it. And that was before we had, passcodes in our phones. And she called Mommy, which was me, and I picked up, "Hi, Allison," and she's like, "Oh, I'm not Allison."
I found your daughter's phone.
I don't remember how she got it back to you, but she just.
I remember I left it in the bathroom in the coop, the student center, which is right across from the mailroom. So I think she just gave it to the mailroom and they popped it in my mailbox. And it was the phone was called a juke. It was about it was shaped like that. It was long and thin, and then it like half of it twisted up, and then it became really rotated. Long and thin. It rotated, and then it was about that long and that thin. Like it was a very strange phone, but it fit in my little college mailbox slot.
Yeah, you loved that phone because it played music.
Yeah,
it was one of the first music playing.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing. It was called the juke because it was like the jukebox, and you could have music on it. I was just looking at what people have been working on. Lisa has finished her first ever pair of knitted socks. Very good. Nice. And Louise has done the transposition shawl. Oh, the crochet project. Nice. And Allison has confirmed that Skin Queen are in-person exhibitors. The cat stole. Who did that? Orla. Oh, in Shetland lamb's wool.
Oh, that sounds luscious.
And Lorraine says that everyone's putting her to shame because her last FO was a simple barley light hat. Oh, I mean, at some point, your last FO has to be a simpler, like if you're going to make hats, then at one point, your last FO is going to be a hat.
That was the last FO, yeah, that's right.
Oh, some more West Yorkshire spinner. Somebody's done Zoya in a deep purple. I assume it's a shawl. I'll go with a shift dress that she's going to wear to her brother's wedding in July. Nice. Yeah. I will have my fingers crossed for your brother's wedding because I had my brother-in-law's wedding was supposed to be in July as well, but he's moved it, and the save the dates are on the mantle, and so we got the first one, the second one, and then the third one just says third time lucky. And I think it says like we're probably maybe definitely going to have the wedding, whatever. I think it's like it doesn't have pictures of them on anymore. I think they put a horseshoe, four-leaf clover, like just all the luck things, but hopefully it'll be okay for next year. Awesome.
Yeah. So maybe you'll be going to 2 weddings next year.
Yeah, no, 3. A few.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Allison said that she had 8 comments about FOs, and the 7th comment won it, which was Lorraine and her simple barley light hat. So there you go. So congratulations, Lorraine. You've got the mini skein set. And Allison also said that their hats are good palette cleansers between projects, which is probably because the one FO that I haven't talked about is my my blurred lines sweater, which I completely ripped back. And I kind of started it again, but then realized actually I don't have the headspace for this. Like if I'm going to start it again, I need to like clear the decks, concentrate on this, because every time I pick it up, I do a few rows. So I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've got a game plan. And I pick it up, a week later, like, I do not remember what that game plan was, but I know I had one and I kind of wrote down some notes, but I don't understand this anymore.
Yeah, I still have my Find Your Fade shawl in a bag somewhere stuffed in. I had this basket of yarn that I brought over, and I'm gonna have to, because I'm planning on ripping that out, and I was gonna use that yarn for a sweater, and I don't remember which sweater it was that I had picked to knit. Mm-hmm. I had like about 5 at one point, like different ones I was thinking of, and I was just trying to narrow it down, and I never wrote anything down, so I don't know which one I'm going to do. So we'll see what that yarn becomes.
That sounds similar to when I agonized over what is it, Ushatita? Was it? It's the Dutch, I think, yarn company with the squirrels. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I remember I think it was at EYF a few years ago. And do you remember? I was agonizing over like, what 3 colors do I want to do? And then like, home, and I knew what project I want. It was some sort of shawl, and I was doing 3 colors instead of whatever the recommendation was, because I wanted to like kind of fade it a little bit or stripe it. And then I didn't actually get to making it like for months and months down the line. And then by that point, I couldn't remember what shawl I had bought it for. It was really annoying because it's just like I just spent so much time deciding on the yarn. Oh, I see a cattail. Sorry, easily distracted.
Is it a genetic thing, or do other crafters have the same issue? Because
anyone else very forgetful? I mean, we are forgetful in like some similar ways, but some like different ways. I think like you're good at remembering things that happened a long time ago. I feel like
maybe
your long-term
not
memory.
According to my own siblings, they think I don't remember things. But the thing is, I remember stuff that happens to me. They'll be like, remember when I did this, that? And I was like, I don't remember that. Didn't happen to me. So I don't remember any of that. Yeah. I just remember the stuff that happened to me. So yeah. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think I like to think that we are pretty similar. Like when friends meet my mom, they'll like, I've definitely had it before where they'll go like, oh, that's where you get that from or something, things like that. And I know like starting the podcast, there were definitely some listeners who said like, because we didn't do the video to begin with, the whole like telling our voices apart sort of thing. Some people had trouble with that, which obviously to me, it's obvious. The one that's me is me, and the one that's you is you.
Though we do sound different. Like when I first started editing the audio, I couldn't stand the sound of my voice. I can't sound like that. Do I really sound like that? And now I'm used to it. So, but it doesn't really sound like the me in my head.
Do you sound higher in your head in real life or lower in your head than in real life?
I think I sound higher in my head.
Yeah, I think so. So when I hear my recording, I think, oh, my voice is pretty low.
Yeah, one of your little your little cousins.
Yes, I know this story.
Which one was it? Was it Olivia?
It was Jessie.
Oh, so she's about 11 years younger than Allison, and she came up to Allison and said, "Why do you sound like a boy?"
No, she said, "Why do you talk like a boy?"
Talk like a boy.
And then that kind of goes hand in hand with the story of one time I answered the home phone from one of my sister's friend, and I was meant to pass on a message that her friend had called her, and I forgot. So when she went to school the next day, her sister was like, or her friend was like, I called, somebody answered and said that they were going to tell you. And Emily was like, they didn't tell me. Who picks up the phone? And her friend said, I don't know, like a boy. And at that point, it was just like, it was either my brother or my dad. She's like how old? And she was like, I don't know, our age. Come on. I don't mind it so much now, though. Isa said that from Emperor's New Groove when she says, "Is that my voice? My voice?" when she's the cat, she turns into the cat. Yeah.
Wait, who said that? I can't see
Yzma in Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah,
she gets turned into the cat. Yeah. No, what I was gonna say was right. In my head, I sound higher, but actually I'm lower. And then my partner, when he hears his voice, is that right? He also thinks, oh my gosh, my voice is so, oh no, I'm getting this different. My voice is so low. I don't know, but it just makes you think about like how you are perceived by other people. Cause obviously it's like, for me, I kind of think like, that's just the way it is. And like my voice in relation to his voice, and we talk to each other all day, because we're stuck in the house together. But like for him, he just has a different experience of like how we sound, like, because in his head, his voice is different and my voice is different than what it is in my head. I'm rambling. You're getting to the end of the podcast when we're really rambling.
Well, I have been told that some people enjoy our babbling.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually true.
It is a sign of our deep, deep mother-daughter bond. Yeah, Babblecast for the win. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Sam caught on pretty quickly that when we podcast, about half of it is actually crochet and knitting, and the other half isn't. Like pretty early days. He just looked at me. He's like, you're not talking, like, you're not a knitting and crochet podcast. Like, you're just talking crap. Yeah. So what?
Oh, it's entertaining crap, apparently, because they keep coming back.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'd still do it anyway because it is our time to catch up. Like sometimes, yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast.
Yeah. But I think that basically takes us to 9 o'clock. And are you planning on looking at any of the virtual vendors for the weekend? Have you had a look yet? So has everybody got their shopping lists? Maybe. Yes, maybe.
I was thinking if I were to I was thinking maybe I can always have it sent to you. I don't have to pay the shipping.
Yes, we become each other's temporary warehouses for things. Like, save that for when they next see each other.
So that doesn't help me for my dilemma right now. Is everything I want to knit, I have yarn for. It's in storage somewhere. It's not accessible to me. So do I buy more yarn, or do I just wait until I get to my stash?
I feel like everyone here will just say buy more yarn, right?
Buy more yarn.
And Tana says she doesn't have a list, but she's totally open to temptation. Yeah. I think the first in-person yarn show I go to, that'll probably be my philosophy as well. Like I just don't. I think the excitement will be too great. Like to force myself to be like structured and focused about it. Like why bother? Just go and just. Oh my God! Yeah, that'll be me.
Yes, I don't know when that will be. When I can go to one in person.
Yeah,
I don't know. Did they? I don't know if Rhinebeck has been canceled or whether or not it's still going to happen this year. I don't
know.
So maybe I'll be in New York in October. I don't know.
Temporarily, not moving.
But oh yeah, just for the weekend.
You can't just say maybe I'll be in New York because somebody might think, oh, she's gonna move to New York.
What did Amy say? I'm trying to organize
her trip to New England around Rhinebeck. Have you ever been? Because I've never been.
We only lived like an hour and a half, something like that.
Sure.
Okay. But when we lived in New York, but I never went because it was never at a convenient time. It was either swim meets or something going on, and I didn't want to go by myself. And when we were living in New York, I didn't have any knitting friends that were knitters with the capital K that wanted to go somewhere like that. They were just casual knitting friends, friends that casually knitted. They didn't really knit like the way I did. So never went.
They weren't knitting nuts crazy.
Knitting nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's on our wish list though, to go to Rhinebeck together because really the whole crochet thing for me, like I only picked it up in the last 6 years or so, and it's been a thing that we've been bonding over, which has been nice.
Yep.
And you were the one that forced me to go to EYF that first year where I met Faye.
Yes.
I think that was like, I'm a extroverted introvert? I don't know. But basically I just moved to Edinburgh in mid-February, and so obviously EYF's in March, and my mom said you have to go to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, like it's huge, so you just have to go. So I went by myself, and yeah, I was a little nervous about it, but it was great.
That's where you met Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth, who is Crochet Cakes podcast. So if anyone's a crocheter and doesn't know about that, she just does a podcast and she designs as well. And at the time, she was living in Puerto Rico, and she also, I think, probably in a crazier move than me, because she decided I'm going to Edinburgh, bought a plane ticket, like didn't really know anybody there. And I saw that. And so I messaged her and said, oh, well, I'm new to Edinburgh too. I can meet you for coffee. We could do the show together. And yeah, so perfect example of kind of, you know, the people you meet at yarn shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think yarny friends are the best.
I think it's that like built-in thing to talk about that's like very wholesome. Was it yarny friends are the best kind of friends? Yes.
I guess I don't have to whisper that with this group though.
Yeah. We're all capital K knitters and capital C crocheters.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's still windy outside. But I do need a gin top up. It's empty.
Oh.
Not tonight.
You finished all that in this hour?
I mean, I didn't get a top up in this whole hour. Like, come on.
So other than your walk this morning, have you done anything else in Dorset?
No, just my walk. I'll leave everybody with one last thing, which is I saw baby cows. Can you see?
Well,
baby cows.
Well, nothing will beat that day when we all went gaga over the Highland cows on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Your Sam thought we were crazy.
Yeah.
But they were pretty cute.
Screech to a halt, like on the side of the road. Oh my God, they're there. Yeah. I took pictures of you taking pictures of the cows because it was just too funny. The obsession.
Those bangs. I mean, come on. How can you not love that face?
I definitely met somebody who thinks they look scary.
Really? Well, if we didn't have that fence between us and those tusks, yes.
The horns?
They are
Tusks. Tusks are like...
Horns. They're definitely scary. We have that fence in between us, so not so scary.
Yeah, I guess.
Faye's gonna pee in her pants.
So our podcast is Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. Because we are Anglophiles, the both of us.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's why she lives in Edinburgh. Well, that's why she married a
Brit.
A young Englishman.
I mean, that's not why. I didn't just say, I love England, I'm going to marry an Englishman. It was just a happy coincidence.
I bought Harry Potter when you were in second grade, and then
yeah, this is what she blames it on.
Jane
she blames
Austen,
me living here on the fact that she bought me Harry Potter. As a second grader.
So that's how you obsessed with, you're obsessed with all things British.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's just what it started. I'm not saying. Well, yeah, I am saying it.
Guys, I'm just going to jump in really quick because I want to say thank you. And I know people might have other places to get off to. We've run just a little bit over, but just wanted to say thank you so much to Vivian and Allison for joining us for our launch party. I'm not allowed to call it a tailgate party, but for being here and the prizes and just the fun and chatter, and really great to be here for a live session.
Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you for being here. It was so fun. Love it. I love your guys' banter.
Banter, that's what it is. Thanks everyone for joining us, and enjoy your Unravel weekend.
Have a good night. Yeah, have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. Take care.